What's happening, guys? Welcome to episode 96 of Roadie Free Radio. On this week's episode, I've got legendary front of house sound engineer for the Rolling Stones, Mr. Dave Natale. I'm going to share a little gear advice with you, and I've got a pretty big announcement to make.
Call yourself a roadie. Call yourself a roadie.
All right, what's happening, roadies? Welcome to episode number 96 with my guest, front of house, and legendary Rolling Stones engineer, Mr. Dave Natale. Emmy award-winning engineer Dave Natale, I should say. Super psyched to have you guys here. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for all of your great comments and feedback on episode 95 from last week with Byron Isaacs, the bass player for the Lumineers. I'm super psyched you guys enjoyed it, and I'm glad Byron was able to do it with us. And look for his video coming up soon that I did with him, checking out his vintage gear. Very cool stuff. I'm trying something new in this particular episode, and I just wanted to let you guys know. And we have a theme this week, which is not to chase gear all the time. And that can happen, right? It's like you always see the newest camera or the newest microphone or this. I got to have that. I got to have that. And we can all get stuck in this cycle of basically chasing gear and chasing new gear. And you don't need to do it. And Dave and I talk about that a little bit, considering he uses Shure 58s and 57s on just about everything on stage. There's no frills. That's what I loved about this episode with Dave, by the way, is I'm diving right into my description of it, but it was a no frills approach to this whole thing, as he calls it, Sledgehammer audio. And to me, that doesn't mean just loud. That means, Sledgehammer, no frills, man. We're not gonna get a fancy chainsaw or something. We're just gonna hammer this thing out with the tools that we have, and I love that approach. And so what I was saying was, I'm trying some new mics on this interview that I did at Dave's apartment. I didn't bring the Telefunkens. I didn't bring my stands. I didn't bring any XLRs. I was really like, how can I get this whole kit just smaller and more portable? And so I've got the Zoom H4. And I'm trying the Rode SmartLav Plus microphones, and they make these little. You got to use phantom power on the Zoom, and then they make these XLR adapters. Rode, of course, does that knocks the voltage down, I guess, to make these lavalier mics work. So I'm trying it out. It's a little different, but I have to say it was nice not to have all the stuff, not to carry all the stuff, and then just not to have it sort of there. But I think the sound is going to be a lot better. But anyway, I want your feedback, so please let me know what you think using this new little setup. So there's that. And then, let's see. If you have not seen it yet, the Roswell Delphos microphone unboxing that I did video is finally up. So check it out. Head on over here to our YouTube channel. And for those of you watching, by the way, on YouTube, if you don't know, I only record the intros here. So you got to hit the link, the SoundCloud link in the description below. That'll take you right to the full episode, and you can listen to the whole thing from wherever you happen to be listening from. All right. Okay. So I have some news to share with you guys, and here it goes. Here it goes. I've been thinking a lot about something, and I've been thinking a lot about the show and the way forward and all that good stuff, because I love doing this show, and I love doing it because of your guys' enthusiasm and your feedback and your support. And as you know, I cannot thank you enough. But there's some other things that I want to do and that I need to do, like some videos for All Guitar Network and stuff like that, and just create some more videos. But I love doing the interviews, and I'm not letting go on the show. This show is still going to happen. We are barreling toward episode 100, and I couldn't be more excited. But I think I'm going to do something. I'm going to take a little summer vacation from this show, and I wanted to let you guys know. And what that means is episode 100. This is coming up on 3 years now I've been doing the show. Episode 100 will be the last until Labor Day. So basically from Memorial Day, when episode 100 airs, until Labor Day, there aren't going to be really any new interviews coming out. I will, of course, be dropping some host updates, keeping you guys updated on what's going on and where I'm at and any cool shows and stuff like that. And we'll definitely be doing stuff on social media, but I'm basically going to replay as many of the episodes, maybe 2 episodes a week for you guys to catch up, for those new folks to catch up, and maybe some of the core listeners to, go back and re-experience some of these awesome stories. But I'm going to take a little break this summer to basically focus on making more videos, focus on spending some time with my family. We've got a couple of trips planned, and it's a lot to do each of these episodes. I can only tell you I love doing it. I absolutely love doing it, and if I could do it all full time, I certainly would. But I've got to cram a lot of this into a lot of whatever free time I can find during the week, and but I want to make it my full time thing. So that's part of this summer, is to get a bunch of other things together to start pushing this in a much bigger and better way. So anyway, but I will be in touch with you guys. It is by certainly no means the end. I can't thank you guys so much for sticking with me and enjoying these stories. We're getting to episode 100, man. I think I've locked in my guest. I am not going to tell you yet who it is, but I will be announcing it very shortly. Episode 100. We are going to film it. It's going to be awesome. And then we'll take a little break. Summer vacation, man. You know how it can't be bad. It ain't going to be bad. It's going to be all right. In all honesty, though, this was a bit of a tough decision. I started thinking about it a few days ago and really been mulling it over. And the only break I've taken was a year ago, winter, basically. I stopped for about 6 or 7 weeks because I just totally got out of the rhythm. We were on a trip and it just wasn't going to happen. And then I played catch up. And this last year has been absolutely unbelievable. But got to do a few other things, and there are a couple of client projects coming through, and I just don't want to be scrambling to get one of these episodes out. They mean a lot to me, and I want to do a good job. So that is what's happening, my friends. Now, let's get to today's guest, all right? Because this is the shit right here. Sometimes when I do these interviews and I'm sitting with somebody, a lot's happening, right? I got to make sure that we're recording. I got to make sure that they're comfortable. Do I have my questions? Am I paying attention? And in the midst of all that, I stop and go, oh my God, I'm talking to X, who's been with X band for, however long. And in this case, Dave Natale, and it's just awesome, man. You guys, I love my guests. For them, these people do not have a lot of time. Y'all don't have a lot of time to give, and you've given me your time, and I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your candor and your stories. And certainly Dave and I, we had a connection, and we had a good time, man. And it started from the moment I walked in his front door and saw his wall of shame, as he calls it, which is just, it's pictures from his whole career with Tina Turner and Joe Cocker and the Stones and all these amazing people doing these amazing things, and blessed life. And he says in here, he's not spoiled. He knows how lucky he is. And it's a pretty remarkable thing. So just real brief, our man here started in 1981 with Asia. Asia was his first tour, Heat of the Moment tour. That's where it started, 23 years old. Now he's with the Rolling Stones since 2004. He's been with Motley Crue, Tina Turner, Joe Cocker, Fleetwood Mac, Lionel Ritchie. And he just won an Emmy last year for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, which he also does. He does a lot of live shows and whatnot. A great dude. But I could tell you all these things about him, but I think we should let somebody else who knows him really well give you the lowdown. And that would be Mr. Keith Richards. In his book, this was brought to my attention, by the way, and in Keith Richards' book, Life, which I will put links to if you haven't read this book. It's an awesome read, and you can grab it in the description here on the YouTube channel, or I'll put links in the show notes up on the website at roaditfreeradio.com. On page 490 of Keith Richards' book, Life, he says this about today's guest. Excuse me. When you play these big stadiums, you're hoping that when you first hit it, it fills the room and doesn't come out like a bat whisper. Something that you played yesterday in a little rehearsal room sounded fantastic, and you take it out on the big stage, and it sounds like 3 mice caught in a trap. In the Bigger Bang tour, we had Dave Natale, the best live sound man I've ever worked with. I mean, really? Really, dude? It's in a book about you by Keith Richards. That's pretty awesome reinforcement as to the job that you do on the road. So, without further ado, my friends, let's get to Mr. Dave Natale.